What's going on, y'all? So, Love and Hip Hop. I was about to say Atlanta. Child, I can't wait till Love and Hip Hop Atlanta come back. I keep on fucking bringing it up. But, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 2 Reunion Part 2. Let's get into it. Okay, first of all, Omarion, they didn't told Essence Live or whatever that they are not coming back for Season 3. Okay, are we shocked? No, we are not. They were barely on this season, okay? And compared to the rest of them, they the only one that seem like they got their shit together, like 100%. He out here booking shows, whether he headlining on the tour and she out here having babies. They shit look intact, okay? They shit look intact. But, Omarion, let me get on you for a second. Because the Grammy Awards, nominations were announced earlier today. And you get your ass on Twitter ranting about the fact that your song supposed to be was not nominated for a Grammy nomination. Okay, granted, it's a lot of songs that I be looking at like, how the hell did you get a nomination and all this stuff, But let's be honest, okay? Don't nobody. To be honest, I don't know. Look, supposed to be. That was a cute little song, but the only reason why we listened to it, if we listened to it, was because of Janine Aiko saying, eat the booty like grocery. 9 out of 10, let me tell you something. Every time that I've listened to it, I don't know it. After all this time that it's been out, I don't know neither your verse nor Chris Brown's verse, and I barely know Janine Aiko's verse. I only know the part where she say, but you gotta eat the booty like grocery, so calm down, okay? You're not gonna win them all. You're not gonna get nominated for everything. Just because you may feel like you deserve it, other people in these committees, they feel otherwise, all right? So let that shit go. Don't let that shit get all up in your head and whatever. That should be motivation for your ass to go out and do something else better and bigger, okay? Same thing with like K Michelle. I don't think K Michelle got nominated, which was kind of fucked up because that album was good. That album was better than that first one because that first album was trash. All right, and I can understand why that bitch didn't get nominated for that first album, but the second album was cute, and I don't see her ranting and all that stuff, which I'm surprised, somebody trying to learn. But hey, it is what it is. But let me shut up because it probably gonna be coming sometime soon. Let me shut up because y'all know every time I say something, shit just happen. Anyway, so we start this reunion off with what left off last week. Now, what I was saying last week, what a lot of people miss, because everybody went, Marla did get up, she got on the stage. I said when Shonda was like, I slapped the fuck out of you or whatever, when she was talking to Moniece, okay? She said that shit right next to Marla. Marla sat back like, I ain't really do nothing. It wasn't until she saw Shonda ass get her ass up, okay, that she went up and she did something as she supposed to have did. I'm saying if somebody would have said that shit sitting next to me, I would have decked off on the bitch. Like, you gonna do what? You really gonna do what? But see, she got a little more cool because she explained to herself later after all this whole thing happened. They get up there, they trying to attack. They got security, blocking and everything, and Fizz holding Monique's back. I'm surprised he got his ass up. I'm just looking at this whole situation like, Lil Saint did not die for y'all to be up here acting a fool like this. And speaking of Saint, y'all, what y'all feel about Kanye and Kim naming the baby Saint? Saint West. Man, I mean, it's kind of cute, but I'm not surprised that they. Anyway, I am. Girl, okay, but. So Brandy is just going off, and we got Moniece in the back. She just feeling the type of way. She like, I can't stand this, and I understand where she coming from. You know what? I'm not throwing a pity party for Moniece because Moniece is a professional victim, but I was not here for what they did in that moment. All right, and just like they said, later on, people do they motherhood differently, okay? None of them can sit there and act like they ain't never had no struggle, okay? And it probably wasn't to the extent of what Moniece was going through, and how her mind frame and how she do her motherhood and all this stuff, her mothering and whatever, but don't act like y'all ain't had no issues too. Don't act like y'all ain't had no struggles. I mean, Shonda, your ass, y'all can barely pay the fucking rent, okay? Amber, what... I was about to say something wrong, but the baby daddy passed. So, it is what it is. Brandy, listen, just shut the fuck up. She out there in the back. She not mad at me. She mad at what she doing. And she did this and this and that. I was like, girl, if you don't shut your ass up. Somebody in the comments said that this bitch looked like the skunk off of Pepe Le Pew. the cat. I said, Jesus Christ, y'all ain't worth shit, okay? And then I seen on Twitter, somebody was like, she's sharing her friend's clothes. Because if you do look at the dress is big in all that space, okay? And I'm just sitting there like, you just making a mockery and a fool of yourself, okay? And it just irked me how she just want to interject and she want to say this and she want to say that. And they finally get back. And, Marla was trying to block it up, and Moniece was just, Moniece and Rich had a thing. And I was liking Rich. Bitch, I like Rich on here. Rich is like, if y'all look at Real Housewives of Orange County, Slade, who with Gretchen now, Slade went through damn near every season of Real Housewives, went through damn near the whole cast, almost, meaning that he been with damn near everybody on their cast, okay? And that's what Rich is doing, and I'm just sitting here like, I appreciate him being back there trying to tell them people don't know you. They can talk, but you got to quit letting this stuff get to you and all this stuff. Marla basically saying, me as a mother, I respect everybody on this stage and all this stuff, but y'all not, I have to shield my child. And I was like, you better fucking say that shit, because I was about to come for your throat. Okay, Marla? It's deep enough, and I was about to come for it. Let me tell you something. See, I be on the fence with Moniece, because Moniece is the type of crazy that I'll probably fuck around with. Listen, something about that crazy shit, it's hot as fuck, okay? It really is. Bitch, you crazy as fuck. Sit your ass down. I'm not going, it gets me. It gets me. So, it is what it is. But, I just didn't appreciate, and even Tierra had to put it out there. Everybody got their own issues, but all of a sudden y'all want to choose this moment to get up and attack. And that one's right. And then Princess Love came around the back like she was a linebacker just waiting, stalking her prey and all that stuff. I was like, girl, sit your ass down. Like, don't wait until she gets into it with somebody else for you to come up. That's some sneak ass attack. That's jumping. That's all that. I wasn't here for that. Settle y'all shit one-on-one. All right. Shonda, I still don't get the purpose. I still didn't understand. After that, they had Brandy was like, I was getting pissed off because I'm talking about what I do with mother here, and motherhood is such a passion to me. And she's just shaking. I said, bitch, she was talking to Monique. Shut the fuck up. Okay, just shut up. And then here come Jason Lee coming out there. He basically said, him and Hazel get into it. He trying to apologize. Hazel was like, bitch, I'm not here for your apology. Ray J is in there talking about something. Jesus forgave. Jesus forgave. You can't forgive. You can't forgive. Hazel was like, first of all, you not Jesus and neither am I. And I already said that I was not here for an apology. And then she said, you talking about some you want to forgive, talking about some that's what, that's not how I am and all that stuff after I seen the way that I looked on TV and that's not the type of person that I want to portray. She was like, how you going to apologize to me and then the very next day when the shit airs, you walking around with a t-shirt on that says eat it. That's what he said in the thing. And I said, good point, bitch. You monopolizing off of her struggle. She was like, bitch, I had alcohol, so rock was up in my eyes and it was burning. I said, I know. And they was just going back and forth. He talking about some people, his own family didn't know that he was gay and all that stuff. Girl, I said, they knew, boo. They already knew. Motherfucker, you came out the womb and they knew. Okay, they knew. All right. And then she was calling him a fat ass. She was like, and then he was like, I mean, I could say that you deserve to be on a Fruit Loop box. And I said, fuck, I got that too. Can't say him. Okay. And did y'all hear the way Nina introduced him? He was like, he's a claim to be a blogger, a Hollywood blogger. Claim to be. I said, oops, all right, now the shade and everything. But, they was talking about Brandy again. She gets up into it and she was like, I got into it because, it disgusts me because I'm all for women and you don't do that. If it was anybody else, any other woman, I would get pissed off. And I was like, Max, you need to control your girl. Because I understood where she came from. Because then Max said, we talked about it, called me up and we talked about it. This bitch still talking. At one point, they were still going at it. And Ray J was like, Lil B, calm that shit down. And I was like, Max, tell your bitch to shut the fuck up. Why another man gotta tell your dude, your girl to be quiet? Max is just sitting there like that. 1 + 1, does it equals 2 or does it equal 11? That's what he was sitting there thinking. I was just like, oh, ain't talking about something he did. Girl, I'm still tripping on the fact that Jason really said that, he wasn't even, girl, people knew. And it just irked me because I was looking at Milan's face when Hazel wasn't trying to forgive and wasn't there for the forgiveness and all this stuff. And when Ray J was saying we should forgive and all this stuff, and he was just looking like, to Hazel's response like, And I'm just sitting there like, if she don't want to forgive, she ain't gotta forgive. Okay, this ain't. You can't make a person do what they don't want to do just because you want them to. Get the fuck out of here. So then comes up, Hazel, and they talking about her, Tiara and the fashion line and all that stuff, and did Nikki feel a way about Tiara going and having a surgery? Then he was like, at the end of the day, I knew she was gonna do it, and that's my friend. My thing of it is if she gonna be out here with Princess and all that stuff, Princess can put shit to the side. How come she can't put shit to the side? That's how I was thinking. It wasn't nothing malice and negative going against her. I'm like, we real business women. How come we can't just drop the shit and then come together and be a force to fucking reckon with? And I was like, I mean, okay. Princess didn't. I mean, of course, Tiara not gonna see it that way. It's shit that's been going on, and I do feel like Nikki, you as a friend, you could have told Hazel, told Princess, what the girl name, Tiara, what the fuck was up or whatever. And then Tiara started talking about Milan gave his feelings on how he felt when they crashed the fashion show. He talked about something. I wanted to react the way I really wanted to react, but it was a whole bunch of bloggers and all that stuff. I said, bitch, where? Them was extras paid by Mona. Stop playing. And then, you know, they was like, Hazel, why you leave and all this stuff. She was like, because she was going to come in there and start some shit, and I didn't want to be a part of it. But at the end of the day, they apologized to each other. She was like, I'm sorry for this. And Tara was like, and I don't wish that you would die, because if you would die, bitch, I'll die too. And they hold hands. And I said, okay. Y'all need to stop playing. Is y'all friends or is y'all not? They cool for right now. Then we get this fucked ass scene that we didn't even really need with Soulja Boy and Nia. Bitch, I forgot they was on the show because for the second half of the season, we did not see them. All right. After Nas threw up all over the place, we ain't see that bitch no more. We ain't see them no more. All right. They start talking. Soulja Boy sit his ass down. He profiling and shit. And my thing of it is this. Why is his nose so fucking contoured with all that damn makeup, and he just cake face, and he looked like he finna go. I was just confused about what was going on. Nia just sitting there like this. Nas look like she don't know where the fuck she's at. She don't know why she's there. Okay, they arguing over each other. Do you have an open relationship? No, we do not. I was like, well, Nia, basically on the show, that's what you kind of agreed to and said. He talked about something. I'm a rapper. I go on tour, and I got groupies and I got fans. What you expect me to do? So you don't sleep with your groupies and stuff? No. I was like, quit lying, and all that shit. Miles was like, so you didn't sleep with me for like 2 months ago, whatever. You didn't tell me that if it wasn't Nia, I'd be on the show with you because I'd be your main thing. He was like, fuck all that, bitch. I don't want you. I just fuck you, and you ain't never gonna be the main one. It's all about Nia and all this, and I love her. And I'm just sitting here like, so y'all finna just get into an argument over this shit. Nia, you literally finna sit here and be cool with the fact that he just admitted that he fucked her 2 months ago. Like, come on. Like, I can't devote all my energy to that. It's just not worth, because then this motherfucker just takes it up a notch, and instead of answering the questions, he diverts attention to the fact that he gets money. Okay, if we did not know, he gets money. Soulja Boy, he gets money. Okay, look at all this money. I gets money. At the end of the day, it's all about the money. He gets money. And I said, bitch, if you say you get money one more motherfucking time, it's just stupid. Then here come Nine. So you weren't saying that when I was beating your ass on national TV? Who ass did you be? Who ass did you be? And next thing you know, security come bum rushing the stage. I said, why y'all even attempt to try to fight when y'all know ain't shit gonna happen? Because the security is in there deep. So they take Nas and Nia off the stage or whatever. Nikki Baby gets into the mix, and they talking. Here goes Soulja Boy. That's my girl, and he claims that he getting his tattoos on his face lays it out. But baby, there's some makeup on your face. Because Nina was like, I thought it was makeup. No, it's some makeup too. I gotta go back 2 more times. I said I love that girl. What I'm a lie about? I'm 25 million. What I'm a lie about? Just Google it. I'm like, why are you so mad? Who should be mad? This is what pisses me off, and I can't get too much energy to it, because Nia will forever fight the side chick. Okay, Nia will forever fight the side chick, and then you got friends, so-called friends like Nikki Baby, who will be like confronting the side chick instead of confronting the dude. All right, and talking about some. At the end of the day, if he's still not claiming you, so what's the point? That's what Nikki was saying, and I'm sitting here like, but at the end of the day, he's still fucking around on your friend. Okay, and you sitting up here on the couch and just cool with him fucking around and treating your friend like a piece of trash. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be sitting around and just kikiing up with my friend's dude or whatever, and I know that he doing dirty, and it's all out there that he doing dirty, and I'm just gonna be sitting here just okay with it. That ain't no real ass friend. That's some, unless you cool with being played too. I ain't got time for that. It was just bullshit. Like, Soulja Boy, get your life together. That motherfucker was on something. You couldn't tell me no different. And so they bring Milan, Miles, and Amber and her sister, Miles and his sister back on the stage, and I'm just like, okay, here we go. Then they talking about they doing the playback of the shit after Miles told her that they was gay and all that stuff, and I'm like, why would we have to go through all this? They could have did them in one swoop, okay? They could have got them out the way in the first half, all right? And then this end of this, basically, he's still in the little girl life. Amber said they family, friends and family, whatever the fuck. All of a sudden here come a line. I think it's cool that the person that's supposed to love me and that I supposed to be in love with is up here, and they up there figuring out their issues, and I'm looking at it on TV, and I was gonna sit here, and today I planned on proposing. That ring looked like a Cracker Jack ass. I got it out the cereal box ass fucking ring, because that's how it sounded when Miles kicked that bitch, and just doing all that stuff, and then coming to find out that the man that I supposedly love and who's supposed to be in love with me is up here cheating, and I was gonna propose to him today. I said, quit playing, quit fucking playing, and then gonna go backstage and cry. Just go. I said, what type of soap opera ass shit is this? I was not here for it at all, because it just seemed so fucking fake. It just seems too overdone. It reminded me of when Benzino was about to propose to Carly Red, and he opened up that box and closed it right back. Mal said, I ain't cheating on you. Charmaine was like, shut your ass up. The whole time, because Milan called him a fraud. And here comes Brandy chirping in the background. Shut the fuck up and let people have their own segments, okay? That is what I don't understand. No, you don't know that, Milan. You can't call him no fraud. I'm like, are you in their relationship? Are you going to bed with them? No, you are not. So you shut your ass up and stay in the peanut fucking gallery, okay? Chip fucking monk. So they bring Milan ass back out there, and he basically going on this, it irks me, because they did have a good opportunity to put out there the message that she was trying to put out there about, accepting gay people, and you having gay people that's homeless, especially the teens, and, having to live in a closet because people don't respect you and all this stuff and yada, yada, yada. But when you put messages out there and you talk about, so we should be uplifting and all that stuff, why would you want other people to uplift you when you come out here being a fool? Okay, you're showing your fucking ass on TV. That's what you and Miles doing. Bitch, when he was going in on Miles, Miles was sitting there like this. He was giving you Donald Trump face. Just like, I said, but like, y'all need to stop fucking playing, because I'm over them. But I don't even feel like going into their bullshit. But they finally bring up Willie and Shonda talking about her stripping and all this stuff. Girl, when they was like, are you retired? Are you retired stripper? She was like, I mean, I put the heels away, but you never know. Willie said, yeah, the bitch retired. I said, are you sure? Because according to her response, it can come out any minute, you know what I'm saying? She probably could be doing some shit while you don't even know. But, he talked about the album coming out in the early next year. And he was saying, I was never broke. It was just that we wanted a cushion. I said, I understand that, but you still should have stayed in Chicago until you had that cushion secured. I'm just saying, or got a regular job. I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. And they was like, Ray J, so how would you respond if you saw Princess doing some stuff like that? I mean, we all go through our struggles and shit. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if she gonna ride for you, you gonna ride for her. So we gotta do what we gotta do. And I was like, okay, Ray, whatever. But hold on, because when Miles was like, bitch, you just jealous because you're a fame whore and I'm getting all the attention and all this stuff. What I got to be jealous of? You ain't even got a song on iTunes, but bitch, you got one on there, but who buying it? Okay, I'm just saying. He was like, you ain't really got a Wikipedia page. I mean, he was like, Google me. I said, we Google you and all comes up is your porn tape. But I mean, hey, if that's how you feel. Bitch, when they was going around at the end, you know, they was like any parting words. Fizz was like, I'm just glad everybody got up here and was able to come up here and do what they had to do and put their life out there, because it'd be hard. I appreciate that. So I thank y'all. Rich was like, yeah, I agree with that. But y'all can check me out next week on Love and Hip Hop New York. And I was like, okay. And bitch, Milan was like, just love yourself. Just love yourself. Be you. Miles was like, don't let the fame change you and all this stuff. Milan was like, and I was like, y'all stop it. And then they got to Monique. Monique, you got something to say? Okay, I'm gonna take that as you don't. And I said, Nina, cut this shit off. Bitch, I was over it. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it.